A human contains 20 to 28 grams of total body magnesium, 60% usually in the bone, 26% in the muscle, and the balance is in the rest of the body. Serum magnesium usually range from 24 to 85%. The lesser absorption rate is for metabolic source of magnesium. The higher are associated with plant-derived from chlorophyll sources. Vitamin D has no effect on magnesium absorption. A lot of people feel that vitamin D has something to do with magnesium. There is no relation. High-performance athletes, they lose considerable amount of magnesium in their sweat. The F.D.A. suggestion for magnesium, 350 for adult male, 300 for the female, 450 for a pregnant or lactating female. There is a definite increase of magnesium demand during. It takes apparently a lot of magnesium. If your kidneys are good, you can tolerate as much as 6,000 milligrams of magnesium.
Dr. Z,
Yes, sir.
what is your opinion of coral calcium?
I don't have too much experience. The only thing I know is that you have to be careful with the lead content in these sources. That's the only thing. I think probably it is a good source of calcium, but as long as you make sure that there is no contamination with some other heavy metal, especially lead, I think it's okay. What I recommend to use as a calcium source for our kids with osteoporosis, because I have kids with osteoporosis, is to use the safest thing is to use calcium citrate. And the reason I like the calcium citrate is mainly from the absorption point of view, because it's the best to be absorbed. But coral calcium is probably okay as long as you know how much lead you have in your calcium. I'm going to cover only two, and then I'll probably, because I can't go through all the. I think in your handout there is some other, but I'm going to cover only two, and I'll quit on the rest. One is selenium, and the other one is zinc, and then we'll quit. I like selenium because it's the most efficient antioxidant. It prevents the cellular and subcellular lipid fat from being perioxidized. All of you are aware of what we call age spot. You see these brown spots when you get old on your hands and on your arms. A lot of people believe that these age spots are related to selenium deficiency. And there is several people who report that if you take selenium, these age spots, the brown spot you have in your hands, will go away. It functions to protect the cellular and organelle bilipids layer membrane from oxidative damage. These are the one I told you, seen externally as age spot or liver spot. It is a very strong carcinogenic agent operating in several mechanisms. There is a study which came from Texas about probably 10 years ago where they put a group of people, they followed them for 10 years, and some of them, they give them 50 micrograms of selenium per day. The other guys, they didn't give them nothing. They report 50% decrease in colon cancer in the people who received selenium supplement. The only other equivalent thing which did as well was a baby aspirin every day. Baby aspirin every day or 50 micrograms of selenium every day can reduce your risk for colon cancer by 50%. So there's no question that selenium is a very potent anti-cancer agent. It's involved in detoxification of metal, has immune potential. There is a lot of people who feel that the difference between people who get the HIV virus and they die very, very quickly, or they still have the HIV and then they live much, much longer, that these people are supplemented with high dose of selenium. So for some reason, I think selenium is involved with the immune system. Selenium works together with iodine, and that's the dilemma that we have. You speak about, again, and that's the emphasis I want to tell you, that sometimes you said, okay, I need only this mineral. but you don't know that you need this mineral, but in addition to this mineral, you have to watch the other guy on the right or on the left. All the mono iodinase enzymes are selenium dependent, which means if you do not have enough selenium, you're going to mess up your iodine. And if you mess up your iodine, you're going to mess up your thyroid function. So there's no question that selenium is indirectly involved in thyroid function through the mono deiodinase system. So you need to take two. You need both of them, not only iodine. You have to take the selenium to regulate the situation. Selenium status may affect both thyroid hormone, hemostasis, and iodine availability. So selenium is involved in thyroid dysfunction. Vanadium is probably God's blessing for people with diabetes. I'm very, very impressed. If I have to choose, or if I have to, I will tell all of my kids with diabetes, if they have only two things to take and they cannot find anything else, they definitely need the vanadium and they need the chromium, as I told you before. Vanadium inhibits cholesterol synthesis in animals and human. It increases the contractibility of heart muscle, has the anti-carcinogenic properties. One of the important things that I'm interested, or I have been interested in vanadium, is mainly for the effect on insulin and hypoglycemia and diabetes. And I am very convinced, I think there's a couple of things missing over there. I'm very convinced that a lot of diabetes type 2 in this country can be prevented with vanadium supplementation. And the reason for that, because vanadium works exactly like insulin. How does insulin work? Insulin permits the transportation of glucose from the extracellular space to the intracellular space by increasing penetration of glucose through the cell membrane. Vanadium does the same thing. So there's a lot of people who call vanadium the metal insulin because it mimics exactly the effect of insulin by increasing the penetration of glucose or the transport of glucose through the cell membrane. Yes, sir.
Have you looked at the vanadium with PCO?
With the polycystic ovary disease? I have not. Do you know of any people who have looked into it? Okay, that's good, but I'm aware of that, and we do recommend for all of our patients who are obese, regardless whether they have polycystic ovary disease or not, to take a mineral supplementation. Any person who is obese should take a mineral supplementation. And I wish we have more time to address that, about the relation between obesity and mineral deficiency. But that's a good thought, with the effect on insulin, and increasing your insulin sensitivity. Zinc is a worldwide problem, even in a very well-nourished population like us. There is a study which I think Sam sent to me 2 or 3 years ago, where they took medical staff. These are intern and resident who are in the medical staff, and guess what the percentage of them who were zinc deficient? 80%. 80% of medical staff in one study, they were zinc deficient. These are people who look like me and you, very well nourished and very well fed. Zinc is involved in about 200 enzymes, at least 200 enzymes. And I'm not going to list you because I don't even know or remember 90% of these enzymes that they are involved with. But they are involved in the immune system, protein synthesis, cell growth, hormone synthesis, especially testosterone. These are some of the symptoms of zinc deficiency. The most impressive one of them is fatigue. That's the most impressive one. Cardiomyopathy, weak immune system, depression, sexual dysfunction, and prostate hypertrophy. These are very, very important. I have a kid that Sam will remember who came to see me who have a problem with depression. He had a very poor, lousy appetite, and he had a very bizarre eating habits. I measured his zinc. His testosterone was very low, in the range of 300. And then I felt that the trouble with depression, you don't know, and hypogonadism, You don't know which one is the chicken, which one is the egg. Does the depression cause hypogonadism, or does the hypogonadism cause depression? I don't know. You folks know. But usually men who have depression have lower testosterone. And then people with lower testosterone have depression. But, am I okay? Can you hear me in the back? Yeah. Okay. Said my battery died. But anyhow, we don't know which one is the chicken, which one is the egg when it comes to depression and testosterone. But nevertheless, kids with or adult people with zinc deficiency, they have lower testosterone level. I have several kids, Sam and Terry know about a couple of them, that I have raised their testosterone level just by zinc supplements. How much I raise the testosterone? At least 100 nanograms. That's not a joke, which means testosterone can go from 300, 350 to 400, 450 range just by zinc supplementation. And it does not happen overnight. You have to try it at least for 3 or 6 months. And the reason you see it for 3 or 6 months, because the body is so depleted. So before you start to see the effect, the body has to refurbish, to resupply its shortness and decline in the zinc level before you see an improvement. By